Anacortes, Skagit County, San Juan Islands. I'm going to give you 3 options that you can go do. That's a super fun day trip with the family or by yourself, both from your boat or on foot. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Fishing for a Reason podcast. I'm Jamie Props, and today we have a fun and a little bit of a different type of episode for you. So it's November, and there are a ton of things to do that are a little bit unique for our area, Anacortes, Skagit County, San Juan Islands, that I want to share with you guys, maybe that don't necessarily mean fishing. Although there are things open this time of year, so you can do some winter crabbing. We did have Brianna Bruce on last week, and she talked a little bit, very little bit, about targeting squid. And actually, we did a seminar with her, with our Inner Circle members right afterwards, where we deep dove into squid fishing from a boat. She has not actually done it in the San Juan Islands area specifically. She's fished down in the Edmonds area from a boat, but based on everything we learned, squid fishing is on our list. Squid likes structure, so while you're dropping your winter crab gear, you might as well go try to find some squid. So make sure you have a shellfish license to be able to legally go ahead and do that. And if you are interested in getting a deep dive on how to squid fish, make sure you check out our Inner Circle so you can get access to Brianna's full seminar and you can get information. Right now, the doors are not open, but we will be opening those soon. So if you go to anglersunlimited.co/gold, you can be the first on the priority list to get notified when that does open up. But like I said, there's a ton of really cool things to do this time of year. I actually really I love fishing season, don't get me wrong, because, you know, it's action upon action upon action. There's tons of things to fish for. And now we just got home from an elk hunting trip. Scott is literally in the other room processing elk meat right now. And I snuck away to record a quick podcast for you guys before I help him finish that job. But the winter is a lot of fun out here. It's beautiful. You do get those nasty, windy, rainy days, but you also get those really crisp, gorgeous sunny fall days on the water where it's glass. The lighting is incredible and there's less people. There's like hardly anyone out here. Our population definitely declines during the off season, and that's got its own specialness. I absolutely love it this time of year, being out on the boat and seeing the wildlife come to life out there and just having a lot more of a quieter experience with less people and less activity. So with that, I'm actually going to share a couple things that you can do both from your boat or on foot. So I live in Anacortes and I can work from anywhere, and I love to change my office on occasion. So sometimes I work from home, sometimes I will go to my favorite coffee shop in town, and sometimes I will do a combination of a workout and a work day. And what that actually looks like is walking to the Anacortes Ferry terminal, walking on the ferry, and then going to my favorite coffee shop on the other side on one of the islands, and then walking home once I get on the return ferry. And a lot of people don't know that that's an option. There's a few different favorite ferries that I love to jump on for one of those days. And I thought I would just share some options that if you're looking for a day trip, maybe the weather is bad and you don't want to take the boat out, but you do want to get out on the water, because most of us are kind of addicted to that sort of thing if you tune into this podcast. So I'm going to give you 3 options that you can go do. That's a super fun day trip with the family or by yourself, or if you are a work from home kind of person, grab your laptop and you will not be sorry that you changed your scenery. It is amazing what kind of level of creativity you can create for yourself when you just get out of your normal regular space. So I'll give you my top 3. My first one, a ferry ride to San Juan Island. And I was talking to a gentleman the other day who didn't realize that if you hop on the Anacortes ferry and go to San Juan Island, and actually I'm going to pull up the actual fare for that. Okay, so if you just go to Google and just go WS Ferry, you can find the Washington State Ferry, and then you go select a route. You'll go Anacortes to San Juan Islands, and this little guy will pop up here for you. And so if you click the drop down arrow, you can see the dates that it represents. And then you have your full ferry schedule. And just want to make sure that you note that leaving westbound, all these are your Anacortes times. And then you have to scroll down to see the times for leaving eastbound. And you can also check out the different fares for the route. So if you go to fares for this route, let's go to tomorrow. Leaving Anacortes, arriving at Friday Harbor, get fares, and you can see all the different fares. So $17.50 will get you on the ferry, and then you can see the rest of the options below. If you do have a bicycle or if you have a motorcycle, the bicycle surcharge is super cheap. You can go all over the island if you have a bike with you, which is really fun. But I also want to show you here, if you go back to the schedule, a couple things for you to note. So as an example, you can see you've got all these times on here, and you've got some that are bolded, some that have a little triangle next to them, some that have a red dot. You want to make sure that you take note of those times because things are definitely variable by day and by time. So as an example, the westbound ferry at 1:35 only travels Monday through Wednesday. So note that if it is Thursday, this ferry is not going to be any help to you. And if you see a time, this one right here leaves Anacortes at 5:30 a.m. You can see it stops at Shaw, but there's a red dot next to it. So that means it loads and unloads westbound traffic on eastbound sailing. So note that. And then it'll stop at Orcas Island, but there's a anchor next to it. So you want to scroll down. Indicates time of arrival. Just see what those things mean. So this specific ferry does not make it to Friday Harbor. If you want to get the most direct route to Friday Harbor, then you'll pick something like this 840 ferry where you can see it does not make any of the other stops on the way. It's just going to get you directly there. You can also see these gray boxes here. Those are what they call the inter-island ferries. So they're not going to be going to Anacortes, but they are going to be traveling between the islands. So it leaves Lopez at 10:30, gets to Friday Harbor at 11:10. So make sure you double check all of those. Some of the ferries don't run every day of the week. As you can see, this one sails every day except Sunday. So you want to be aware of that type of a notation as you're planning out your trip. So make sure you get yourself to the ferry terminal like 20 minutes early. Grab your ticket and just use one of the little ticket kiosks. It's really easy to do. And then hop on the boat. So you'll go across to Friday Harbor, and let me pull up a quick map here. And then once you get into the actual ferry terminal, there's a ton of stuff to do. So you can see there's several little coffee shops. I really like going to Salty Fox because they have a great area to sit. And they have Wi-Fi and some nice windows, and you can sit there and get some work done. That's a really great little spot. I also, if you are looking for like a good lunch, you could walk up to San Juan Brewing. That's a great spot. So Friday Harbor has a ton of little restaurants that are absolutely awesome to visit and enjoy. So I highly recommend going there, checking it out, and walking around, enjoying the views. It's a great place to just go grab lunch or grab dinner. Walk the docks. There's a ton to do there, and you will definitely have no trouble filling some time. If you are traveling by boat, you can go into the marina with your boat. You can also go to Roche Harbor, which has marina access, and Roche Harbor is a really cute little town, especially in the November season when there's hardly anybody there. It's absolutely stunningly beautiful, and there's some really nice restaurants there. You can grab a cocktail or a happy hour and enjoy the views, walk the docks as well. Make sure you hike over to the little mausoleum. That's a really cool thing to see, and not a lot of people necessarily know about it. So again, another little gem for you to discover. Westcott Bay is beautiful if you're looking for an anchorage that will get you access to the island. Make sure that you do have a dinghy because it's hard to get on land without one this time of year. A lot of the docks in the islands do get pulled seasonally. So one great place to check, because we do have some of these boat-only access islands with docks, which several of them are actually pulled for the winter time, and it's getting to be around that season when the docks are going to start getting pulled. So one thing that you can do to double check is go to parks.wa.gov and search for the specific place that you're looking for or park that you're looking for to find out what the status is for the dock. So I was honestly not sure if the dock like at James Island was pulled at a certain time of year. just because I truly just couldn't remember. And if you go to parks.wa.gov, you can find the state park that you're looking for. And on that page, it'll give you insight as to whether the dock is pulled or not. So certain ones like Susha Island, there's a dock there that is in year round, but several of the docks around the island are not. That is another really incredible place to take your boat in the off season. It's absolutely stunning, and that place is packed in the summer. Let's just be real. There's so many people that visit it that if you can make some time to get out there in the off season, and don't make it a quick trip, give yourself a couple days. It's amazing what you'll see if you just sit and listen and watch the wildlife, the sounds that you're going to hear. It's absolutely magical out there. So highly recommend that you go spend some time around Susha Island. But I was talking about some stuff to do on foot and I got sidetracked because there's truly just so much to do out in this area. Once you get on that ferry, go to San Juan Island, check out some of the cool shops. There's some really cute little bookstores and shops and restaurants, tons to do. If you do have a bicycle, make sure that you go over to Cattle Point and check out the lighthouse with your bike. It's absolutely stunning. And take a trip over to Roche Harbor and check that out as well. So my second favorite place to go on a ferry ride day trip is Port Townsend. So if you go over to Coupeville, Washington, just drive down there. It's a beautiful drive on Whidbey Island. You'll go over Deception Pass Bridge. And if you've never been across the bridge, make sure you pull over and park and walk across the bridge. You'll see some incredible views. The way that the island kind of funnels water through there, it's a very narrow passageway. And so it acts as like a really intense chute. And so the currents rip through there. And it's fun to go through there on a boat because you actually are going to feel it. Make sure the weather's good. If the weather's really snotty, there have been boats that have capsized in that specific area. So make sure you're being safe and being smart. But if it's a beautiful day, you still will feel those ripping currents and it's pretty cool. So definitely do that. But if you are on foot, pull over, take a walk across the bridge, and stop in the middle if you're not too afraid of heights and just watch. Take a look over the edge and watch the wildlife. You can see seals down there and porpoises and fish. I mean, there's all sorts of things that you can see from just the top of the bridge. It's pretty spectacular, to be honest. There's also the Deception Pass State Park that's nearby, and you can hang out on those beaches and have a great time as well. It's beautiful, tons of hiking trails, so highly recommend that as a day trip. Again, I added another day trip into the mix because there's just too many. But what I love to do is drive down to Coupeville, hop on the ferry, and I think you can get across for, well, let me look at the ferry schedule. I want to say it's like $6 to walk on. With San Juan Island, that's a round trip ticket. So if you get on for $17.50, that's going to get you home as well. And you can stop at other islands on the way. So if you have a bicycle, as an example, hit Orcas Island on your way home or hit Lopez Island. Go for a bike ride and then jump on the ferry to Anacortes as you return. There's no additional charge for that. So that's one of the really cool things about the ferry system. So if I go to the ferry schedule, check the Port Townsend Coupeville route and take a look at the schedule. One thing you do want to note with the Port Townsend route is it is tidal dependent. So it's a really shallow ferry landing on the Coupeville side. And so they will cancel certain ferries if the tide is really low. So you want to make sure you double check that when you're looking at that. And if you are taking a car for any of these, just get a reservation. It's easier. So for your walk-on, it's $4.85. One way. You do need to buy a ticket each direction, but I love walking on the ferry, parking at Coupeville. You can park across from the ferry terminal. There's a gravel lot that it's not really a lot. It's like a big shoulder where everybody parks. You just pull in there. You're totally fine for up to 24 hours. And then you can walk on the ferry and go over to the other side. My favorite coffee shop over on the Port Townsend side is called Better Living Through Coffee. They will do the best pour overs. They have all sorts of different types of coffees that you can get. And I really like the taste of a good, nice, rich, dark coffee. But if you like a Mexican mocha, OMG, this place has the best. They actually put a little bit of cayenne in it, so it has some heat, which I freaking love. And I'm not a sweet coffee person, so I always get half the flavoring in it. and it really packs a flavorful punch. So definitely recommend going to that place. They also have some really good pastries. It's got an incredible view. It's right on the water, so you can watch the ferry come in and out. You can watch the boats go by. You can watch the wildlife outside. It's just stunning. Absolutely stunning. It's a great place to go sit and work. Plenty of places to plug in. Lots of little spots to sit. That's one of my favorite creativity zones. If I'm going to go be somewhere and just do some ideation or creation, that is definitely the coffee shop of my choice. And if you've never been to Port Townsend, again, tons of little restaurants. There's art galleries. There's shops. Wineries, lots to do in that town, all walkable, so you do not need a car on the other side. One of my other favorite places to go in Port Townsend, if you do have a little bit more time, or if you're staying the night, or if you want to just go on a date with somebody that's your favorite human, go to the Rose Theater. It's this old theater, and it's so cute. And they have this thing called the Starlight Room, which is upstairs, and they basically took like vintage couches and different chairs. Are really comfortable, but really like cute. And the whole seating is these comfy different couches. Some are set for singles, some are set for doubles, some are bigger, like a 4-person couch. So you pick what works for your party, and you can actually get full food and beverage service inside of that Starlight Room. You just order at the little bar right outside the curtain, the red velvet curtain. Just the whole energy of the Rose Theater, even if you don't do a Starlight Room movie, is awesome. It's so much fun. They always have some really interesting films there too. They'll have the mainstream stuff, but then they'll have some stuff you never would actually think to go see. I've seen some pretty unique shows there. But yeah, I highly recommend doing that, and make sure you go to the popcorn bar if you go into the regular theater area. They have all these different flavors that you can add to your popcorn of like seasonings, and it's so good. It's just so good. You'll go and you'll know and you'll get it and you'll go again. So definitely check out the Rose Theater, especially if it's like a nastier day and you just want to do something indoors. I definitely recommend that. Okay, my third favorite thing to do with a ferry ride is go to the Guemes Island General Store. So Guemes has a little ferry, and it's funny, so many people don't know about this, and it is an absolute gem of a thing to do. So I think it's like 6 minutes. I timed it, how long it takes to get on the ferry and get off the ferry. I think it's like 6 minutes door to door. It's the shortest ferry ride you'll do. So again, you just check out the Guemes Island ferry schedule, fares and sailing. Tickets are $4.50 a person to get across, and on the other side there's the Guemes Island General Store. Go to their website and check them out. You can sit outside and hang out if it's a nice day. You can sit inside. They serve food, they serve coffee, they have a bar, all sorts of fun at that location, and they do live music. So it does slow down a little bit in the fall and winter season, but definitely check their website because they may have a show, and it's worth going over there to enjoy a show. But it's a really great little day trip. Another thing you can do on the island, I was training for a hike, and so one of my little unique trips, a trailhead called Guemes Mountain. And once you get to the trailhead, it's only 2.4 miles up. It's an out and back hike, and it's beautiful up there. I actually went up there. We had like a snow one winter. It was a really small little snow. And I just hiked up there, and the snow was still there on top of the mountain. And it was absolutely stunning. So highly recommend doing that if you want to go get some exercise and then hit the Guemes store on your way home when you're waiting for the ferry to come, and have a beverage and enjoy yourself, have a snack. It's another lovely little spot to go hang out for a day trip. And there's something absolutely magical about getting on the water when you weren't planning to. And sometimes it's just easier to not take the boat out for whatever reason. And if that's the case, I highly recommend you go give these few different locations a try. So if you're still tuning into this and you want more trip advisor type information about our area, things that you can do, places you can visit, things that, are a little off the beaten path, let me know in the comments. I would love to know, A, if you have any additions to this conversation about some of your favorite places to go in town, and B, if you want more of this stuff, let us know in the comments what you're curious about, and we'll dig into it. So with that, thank you so much for tuning into the podcast. We will catch you guys, same place, same channel, next week on the Fishing for a Reason podcast.